welcome in. We are here for another episode of SSD Mythbusters. My name is Jeremy Worley, and I am here presenting our myths and questions each week to our expert attorney, Josh Worley, who tackles all of the information, gives us the facts we need, and helps us get the information to help you guys make good decisions in your cases out there. So what we do is we just tackle it one topic at a time. Today, Josh, I got another one for you. So the myth today is you have to pay for your own medical examination. Okay, so there's different medical examinations in the process with Social Security is my understanding. And then so can you help us figure out who has to pay for these things?
All right, so the bottom line is for your Social Security disability claims, the overwhelming majority of the information that will be in your file are your own medical records, which means your own doctors, you're paying for those doctors. These are not doctors that Social Security will send you to. There are some exceptions to the rule, and the exception generally revolves around what you call a consultative examination. That's a CE, and that is when Social Security decides that they do not have enough information from your own doctors to make a decision on your case. And so they will then send you to one of their doctors. And it's not one of their doctors. It's supposed to be kind of an independent doctor. But the bottom line is that Social Security is sending you to them, and they have their doctors that they use to do these reports. And a lot of doctors are there. There are some that it's like that's the main thing they do is these consultative examinations. So the bottom line with the consultative examinations is, for the most part, those are not very helpful on a disability case. They have a tendency to be exams that are not very thorough. A lot of times you go for a 15 or 20 minute appointment, and then they send a report to Social Security, and they say that you don't have that many limitations, and then that's used against you to deny your claim. And so for the most part, that's not good to rely on these consultative examinations to build your case around. You really want your own doctors. And so it's really, to get to the myth, it's really your own responsibility to pay for your own appointments, pay for your own tests that need to be done. Social Security will occasionally send someone to get an x-ray done, but those are kind of bare minimum things. Like, for example, where I've seen this is if someone's got a back injury, and maybe when you've got a back injury, you really need an MRI done to show what's going on in there. But in those when that comes up, Social Security will not pay for an MRI, but they'll pay for kind of a basic x-ray that doesn't really show much. So you really don't rely on Social Security to go paying for these doctor's appointments and these important records or important treatments. That's not the way to get it done. Do your own thing, get your own doctors. And if you have to, then go to the consultative examinations, but just know a lot of times those are not very helpful.
Is a judge the one that orders that? Like, what?
So they can do those even at the early stages of the cases, even at applications and reconsideration levels. Yes.
So someone, what do you call the person that's reviewing their application?
Just the disability examiner.
The examiner. Okay. Yeah. So an examiner might make a decision. They see something in the records they feel like they need some clarity on. Yeah. And so the mechanism is they notify the applicant, we want to send you to this appointment.
Yes.
In that situation, they'll pay for it.
They will pay for that, yes.
Is there ever a situation where someone could say, I'll go get follow-up treatment more current with my own doctor and submit it? Or is it once they say you need this CE, you're kind of at the mercy of, you got to go?
No, if you get a call from a Social Security worker and they say, okay, we want to send you to this consultative examination, then absolutely, if you have your own treating physician that can do the same analysis, and you can, when Social Security calls and they say, we want to send you to this consultative examination, you can say, well, your question might be, well, why do you need me to do this? What are you looking for in this consultative examination? And if you have your own treating doctor that can do this same, go through this same information and provide a report then that's way better than going for a consultative examination. And we do that on a pretty regular basis for our clients. If Social Security will call our office and say, we want to send your client to this consultative examination, if we have that option, we'll say, no, we don't want to do that. We'll have our own primary do this same report.
Right. Okay. And I would imagine sometimes there could even be a specialist involved where you think we need someone more specialized to give an opinion on.
For sure. And back to my example on the back, a lot of times when you've got a back injury, this likely is going to show, something's going to show up on the MRI, but if they go for an X-ray, nothing's going to show up on the X-ray. When you have the ability to go to your own specialist, your own doctors, that's much better option than relying on Social Security to send you for this consultative examination.
Okay, that's helpful. So I think our key takeaways here are there are appointments that Social Security will ask that you attend, which is called a CE. Mm-hmm. And in these, though, as Josh has pointed out, they're not always helpful for the applicant because they don't know your care. They may be shorter, not even including all of the testing that you may need for an accurate diagnosis. And so you may ask if you can submit these through your own doctor, continually go follow up with someone that can provide the information they need. And as Josh said, the way that you do that is you could potentially ask whoever calls from Social Security, why are you needing this? So that you can then potentially go through your own doctors to provide the information that they need.
Right. And one additional thing that I'll say on this is that it's not a specific form that Social Security is looking for. It's not like, the consultative examination doctor has a form that they're working through and checking boxes. It's not that. It's just a report on whatever it is that they're wanting information on. It's just a report on that. So another example where this could come up, where the CE could come up, is if someone has a mental issue, an anxiety or depression that they're struggling with, that they mention in an application, but yet they don't have any kind of treating doctor on that, then Social Security can send you to a CE for that mental health issue.
Okay. So as far as our myth, I think the myth was you have to pay for your own examination. As it relates to your personal medical treatment, you're going to be responsible for payment for that. If you do end up going to a CE, Social Security will pay for that. Yeah. But as we mentioned, there are some reasons why you might prefer your own, even if you're having to pay for it out of pocket.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right, Josh, thanks for helping us on that one. Hopefully this has been helpful for you guys. Hopefully that you can also go to our website, visit us at idlawcenter.com. We got a lot more information there. We got calculators and all kinds of things that can help you. So go check us out there. We are the Injury and Disability Law Center, idlawcenter.com. Josh has a nationwide practice. He helps applicants and people trying to get on disability all over the country. So if you need some help, give us a call. We would be happy to help you. All right, we'll see you next time.